Welcome to the Goshen Confidentiality Training. The purpose of this training is to learn what confidentiality is and how to maintain it while working or volunteering in the school building. This training is conducted every year per board policy to help everyone remember the importance of being confidential. What is confidentiality? Keeping what one knows, sees, hears about a student between yourself and the teacher. Or in more technical terms, the protection of all personally identifiable data, information, and records, written and or verbal, used and maintained by any school or institution. This is critical. Every child deserves the right to privacy and not have information about him or her shared with others who are not directly involved. You would want this for your own child as we want this for all students at Goshen. We ask that you uphold the same high standards that we do as a staff. Why do we insist on maintaining confidentiality? First, we care about our students. We want to be a school that upholds the rights of our students to the highest regard. Second, it's the law. Actually, it is two laws, the Family Rights to Privacy Act and IDEA. So what does this mean? For teachers, it means they will be cautious how they send or report information to you as a parent about your child. They will most likely contact you via a phone call or a note to discuss your child, as email is not always a safe or secure means of relaying confidential information. Also, they cannot post a student's full name like on bulletin boards or give out student addresses to other parents. Finally, teachers will also refrain from speaking to you about other students and their family dynamics. For the parents, it means that what occurs in the building stays in the building. Confidentiality can easily be breached with one not meaning to out of good intentions. For example, you see your neighbor's son in the health room on your way out. When you get home, your neighbor is at her mailbox as you pull in. You casually let them know their son may be sick because you saw them in the health room. This is a breach of confidentiality. It is the school's job to call the parent if needed. Another example, you are approached by a parent who saw you one day working with their daughter in a small group. The parent wants to know how their daughter is doing in reading. This would be a breach of confidentiality to talk with this parent. Encourage the parent to speak with their child's teacher for that information. Finally, we are a very tight-knit community that cares and wants to be helpful. We also need to be aware that confidentiality is important and everyone has a right to privacy. What does it take to become a Goshen volunteer? First, you must have a background check. These are good for 5 years. If you're not sure if yours is up to date, please check in the office. Second, attend a confidentiality training session, which you are doing right now. Third, agree to uphold Olam County confidentiality guidelines in the school, community, and with your child. You will sign a sheet before you leave that indicates you agree. What do you do if you suspect abuse? This is usually an uncomfortable topic, but it needs to be addressed if you are considering volunteering. What is abuse? It is physical, emotional, sexual, and neglect. Abuse is an act of commission, doing something, and neglect is an act of omission, doing nothing. If you suspect abuse, you must report it. It is the law. You do not have to have proof. You just need to report it if you suspect. The law says, report to Cabinet for Health and Family Services. If you need assistance, tell an administrator at the school and they can help you report. All reporting is done anonymously. However, please be cautious about who you tell, because everyone you tell will then need to report. For example, you tell your spouse, your neighbor, and a coworker before deciding to report. They will all need to make the report with you. Do not investigate yourself. Children may only tell one person, and it needs to be someone from the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. Tips and procedures for volunteering. Sign up for a volunteer opportunity that you enjoy. There are many opportunities to volunteer in the school beyond the classrooms. The library is always in need of helpers, especially during book fairs. The PTA always can use volunteers for the various events they sponsor throughout the year. Schedule opportunities ahead of time with the teacher. Please do not drop in on your child's teacher unexpected. Scheduling ahead ensures the teacher has something planned for you to do. Also, if you cannot make a scheduled time, please let the teacher know as soon as possible. Space is limited to work on projects. The cafeteria and resource room are available prior to 10 a.m. and after 1:30 p.m. Also, space is limited in the library to work as it is a working classroom as well. Please be aware when working around the building not to disturb others with cell phones. Watch for cues from the teacher to minimize classroom disruptions. If the teacher is in the middle of the lesson, please quietly wait until he or she can talk with you. No siblings during volunteer time. This is a school council policy. Please do not disturb other classrooms or watch from doorways. Classrooms are normally locked, and usually students are assigned the responsibility of opening the door. If they see you there, they will come to open the door. Safety procedures. Always sign in at the front office. Please do not be offended if someone stops you in the hall for not wearing a name tag. It is for the safety of our students that we are all aware of who is in our building. Do not open locked doors for any adults. All adults must enter through the main school doors. Be familiar with the fire exit plan. You may be working with a small group of students around the building. It is important to know the nearest exit in case of an emergency. Please do not, in an emergency or during a drill, walk your small group back to their classroom. Go to the nearest exit. Please know we appreciate the time and dedication you give to our teachers and students. This concludes the confidentiality training.